Hello, welcome everybody. And hi, Laura. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So good to see you again. Let me tell everybody your full name so they can all welcome you here too. Laura Tetrault is returning with her second children's book. So we are celebrating her today. Laura, so good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so excited for the second book too. Thank you for having me back.
Yes. So let's show everybody the book and can you please tell them the title?
Quack-A-Doodle-Moo, a farmyard hullabaloo. That's a word you haven't heard in a while, a hullabaloo.
I don't know that I've ever heard it.
You haven't? Trying that my teenagers picked up the book and they could not pronounce it. I knew the word, but they
Yes.
could not pronounce it correctly, and I was dying laughing.
Yes. Well, actually, the book, all of it, I was just, I mean, not laughing out loud, but enjoying reading the book. And it's such a fun book. So this is, of course, your second book that
Hmm.
you've published. So different than the first one, but equally as good. So
Thank
first of
you.
all, can you tell everybody what is this book about and who it's for?
Yeah, so Quack-A-Doodle-Moo, actually, when I published my first one, my kids didn't know which one I was publishing first, and I did The Light in Me Sees the Light in You, and their immediate response was, why didn't you publish Quack-A-Doodle-Moo? Because I had read it to them previously, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a fan favorite, a kid favorite. And so that's where this came from, is my children actually, and these were teenagers at the time. They were probably 12 and 14, the two of them just said, this is the book you have to publish. I can't believe you didn't do this one first. So that's where it comes from, is my children. And I wrote that in my biography at the end, as my children said, this has to be your next book that you publish. It's just full of joy. It's just funny. It'll sit down and it will make you laugh out loud. It made my children laugh out loud.
Yes, yes. Um, I am looking forward to my granddaughter coming home and reading it to her out loud. I think, like you said,
Yay.
we're going to have a lot of fun reading it. I didn't read it out loud, and maybe I should have done
Yeah,
that because it's that kind of book, like just fun and silly and just a good time of a book.
it's
So,
very silly. I will say that.
yeah. So who would you say that it's for? What age group?
I, it's definitely for the preschool age group, I would say. So I read it to my 3 and 5 year old, and they were just thinking it was the most hilarious thing. Obviously, it's how the reader presents it as well. You can make it very funny as the reader. So I would say it's definitely preschool age, maybe up to kindergarten, but it's for the younger crowd, absolutely.
So fun, so fun. What is it that you hope that you hope kids and parents will take away from the book?
My first book was very wholesome. Um, this one is just silly. I really hope someone reads it and just finds joy, walks away from reading it, and the children in the classroom are just in a joyful, happy mood. I just hope it brings people happiness, truly.
I see that happening. I see that
Yeah.
happening.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah, let me just tell everybody that this book, Quack-A-Doodle-Moo, is available today on Amazon. So make sure to go there, grab a copy of this book. This should be in your vehicles. Like if you're doing anything this summer, put it in the picnic basket. Go read this book to your children, whatever you do this summer and beyond, of course. They're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. And I've got the soft cover, but it's also there in hardcover and ebook format. So, okay, Laura, this is the second children's book in that you've published. Can you show everybody your first book and tell us a little bit about that book? I know it's very different, but also so
Yes.
lovely.
The light in me sees the light in you. Also written in rhyme. My head just speaks in rhyme to me all the time. So the light in me sees the light in you. It's a more delicate, it's a lighter read. It's probably the same age group. And it just basically is trying to teach children that there's a unique, special light in all of them. So it's not as silly, it's more wholesome, family oriented, teaching children that they're all unique and so beautiful for who they are.
I love that book also. Laura, I feel like we just launched that book. Am I
We
wrong? When
did.
was it?
It was January 8th, so it was exactly 6 months ago today. Is that not?
Wow.
I know.
That is
It was
wild.
7 months. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So It was a busy year, but as soon as The Light in Me was done, I already my children again were like, you have to do Quack-A-Doodle-Moo. It was already written. Your team does such a good job. So it was ready to go. I will say the editor, I had a different editor this time. She was fantastic. She really pushed me in all the right ways to develop these characters a little bit more. And so I really like how it turned out. But it was on the fast track. That's 2 books in 2026, which brings me a lot of joy to
Yeah.
say.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So I'm not just losing my mind. We just launched
We
your
just
book.
we just did this. Yes,
Yes.
January 8th we
Excellent.
did this.
Well,
And Light in Me
congratulations.
and Sees the Light in You went to a #1 bestseller on Amazon on January 9th. So that was amazing. Yes.
Yes.
Big goal accomplished.
So good. So when you are on Amazon, I'm talking to you watching,
Mhm.
make sure to go find both books. Grab a copy of both books. You're going to love these books. I'd like to know a little bit more about the journey now with your second book. How is this process different from the first time?
Um, you're a little bit more familiar with the process, but again, having different editors, it's still a little bit of a process as far as how do I change this? What does this feel like? How does this going to flow? So the process was definitely quicker because I knew what to expect. The illustrations really mean, if you read the book, you'll understand why. But basically, some animals combine to be really silly animals. So I had to find the perfect illustrator to bring these animals to life and make them make sense. Another thing I love about this illustrator, in this book, the main scene is a farm, obviously a farmyard hullabaloo. And I sent my illustrator a picture of my kids's. Here's a little barn scene for you, which is so cute. I actually sent a picture, an actual live picture of my kids' great aunt, uncle and great aunt's ranch in South Dakota that they visit often. And that was the scene. And I said, I really want this to look like this place that my children know that they can relate back to. And so she created all of the illustrations around this actual ranch that they visit all the time.
Special. So special. That's so
Yeah, it
great.
really means a lot to me for sure.
Yes. Yes. Let's give your illustrator a shout out. What is her name?
Yeah, Michelle Simpson is her name, and she has illustrated many, many books. She just did a fantastic job. Every little detail. It's so cool to work with illustrators because the ones that I've worked with have been the most excellent. I'll say, I want their mouths open in this one, or I want the chick to be placed here in this one, and they're all just so good to work with. And it's really a collaboration, which I love. I can't draw, but when I see it, I know how I want it to look, and she did such an amazing job in making these characters beautiful, but also very silly.
And very unique. I did think about that when I was reading the book. I thought,
Yes.
how did they do this with the
Yeah,
illustrator, right? Because
she
we
did
won't,
it.
yeah,
She
yeah.
did it.
We
Hmm.
won't give it away, but you'll have to see the book and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned something about the editor, which I actually love that you had a different editor this time
Yes.
because we have two amazing editors, and each
Mhm.
one brings their own unique perspective and style. So, was that good for you? Do you feel like that was good to have a different editor and maybe learn something new or see something else?
Absolutely. And I will say that Tanya was the editor on this one. She pushed me to add more here, or this doesn't make sense here. It's not even little details. She really read it and said, love it. It's funny. And you've got to add this. And then so you really have to sit down and think, God, how do I make that better? And she pushed me in all the right ways, so that the story became more of a story.
Mhm.
It's hard to describe, but more
Yeah.
uh, beginning to end made more sense. So she pushed me, and it was in such a good way, honestly.
Love that. I love hearing that. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Um, we know that, it always comes up with some challenges. So, what comes to mind when I say what was the challenge when writing or producing this book?
I would say the challenge was determining how to flow towards the end of it. It's almost like when an author has a story, they know what they want to say, and then the editor comes in and goes, I know what you're thinking, but you're not saying it. You need more here. You need to round this out here. So my challenge was, in my mind, it made sense, And when someone else read it, it said, you need more here or here. So just rounding it out, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. And I asked this question because we have a lot of aspiring authors watching us. Some of them have already published their books, but it's good for all of us to remember, okay, this amazing book came with a couple of challenges that
Mhm.
Laura overcame, that she worked through, and now we have this great book that we can enjoy. So thank you for sharing that. Um, okay, what does it feel like for you to have a second book out in the world in like two in 1 year?
I honestly never expected to do two in 1 year. That wasn't honestly the plan. Um, it feels really great. I'm very proud of myself. I know that my kids are really proud of me, and my husband is really proud of me. And so it just feels like a big goal accomplished. Um, yeah, it wasn't the plan to do two in 1 year, but here we are, and it all worked out. So the universe conspires in my favor. It must have
I
been
love
meant to be.
I love that belief. The universe conspires in my
Yeah.
favor. So good. Okay, so thinking back to the last 6, 7 months that you've been an author already, is there anything that comes to mind as to a moment that maybe a child said something about your first book, or maybe one of your own kids, or anything that comes up that's a great memory of you putting in the work and now having your first book out?
Yeah, on Mother's Day. So I went and on launch day for The Light in Me Sees the Light in You, I read it to my daughter's preschool class. That was the first people I read it to, and they loved it, and it was so sweet. And then on Mother's Day, they fill out the about my mom. And my daughter, True, who's 5, filled out, what does my mom do? She writes amazing books, or she writes cool books, or something like that was her answer.
Mm,
That was how she saw me, is my mom writes books, and she will tell everyone that my mom writes books, and my mom will give you her book if you want. So just seeing my kids know that I'm following my dreams, and that they're acknowledging it even at the age of 5, it just fills my heart so much.
oh, Laura.
I know.
I'm choked up with this. This
My
is
mom
so
writes books,
sweet.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is so sweet. So sweet. Oh, and
Yeah.
like you said, they are seeing you go for your dreams. I know,
Mhm.
I believe you have, how many children do you have?
I have 5.
Five. Okay.
Yeah.
She's probably one of the youngest. Like imagine
Yeah.
like just the belief that you're instilling in them, that you can
Yeah.
go for your dreams. You can do it.
Yeah.
And you're an example of that. So
Speaking of my kids, I was going to show you this too. I took a family photo, an actual family photo that we had in August, and I gave it to my illustrator, and I asked her to make my family into the characters. And so the main character is my husband. His name is Tanner, but we call him Farmer T in the book. But this is a family photo of us, and she turned us into caricatures, and then that's who I dedicated my book to, as my kiddos and my husband. So that was really cool to see this actual family photo made into that. When the
yes.
children
Oh,
saw that, they're like, that's our actual picture. Yeah.
that's so cool. That's so
Cool things you
great.
get to do as an author. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The extra little things you get to put into a book that's yours because it's your book, and it's just about having that creativity and asking your illustrator to bring it to life. I love
Yes.
that. Love that.
Yes. The kids
Okay.
really thought that was very cool that their picture was in the book.
Of course. Of course. So good. So, okay, so now here you are with two children's books out. What advice do you have for an author who has already published one book and is thinking about that second one?
The second one definitely comes more naturally. Um, Part of me feels like, oh, I've already done this. But even my mom texted me this morning and said, like, their second book, it's still like this huge thing, Laura. Like, we're so proud of you. And so just know that you have the ability to publish as many books as you want to. And the second one honestly feels just as cool as putting out the first one.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Great advice. Great advice. Okay, so friends, make sure today go to Amazon, grab a copy of this book. I'm telling you, you will be happy that you did. Yes. And then besides going to Amazon, where else can our viewers find you?
I am on Instagram at Laura T Writes, that's Tee, and I'm also on Facebook at Laura T Writes, and I'm also on TikTok at Laura T Writes. So all of those, yes.
Excellent, excellent. So friends, go find Laura. And before we go, I always like to leave with this. Please, is there anything you'd like to share or anything that you wish I would have asked you?
I'm just so thankful for all the support that your team has given my family, all of my friends to make my first book a #1 bestseller was beyond. And so many people text me almost weekly. I bought your book today. I'm headed to a baby shower. Bought your book for my grandkid. Bought your book for this reason. And I just can't express my genuine gratitude enough for everyone who has supported me. So thank you to your team and thank you to everyone who supported my first book and who plans to support my second. Truly thankful.
I love that. Well, you continue to write amazing books. We have to support you.
Thank
We
you.
have to support you. It's our pleasure. So, friends, you know what to do. Go find Laura, go follow her, go grab her book. You're going to love this book. Grab both books because you're really going to enjoy them. And Laura, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. I hope to speak to you again, maybe more books
Yes.
in the future.
Yes. Thank you, Miriam. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye, everybody.